Hi friends, it's really dark here. I'm working on the light, but here is a candle, and this is how I like to begin with you every time. So with you, I'm going to take a deep breath to calm my busy mind because I'm thinking of all kinds of things. I'm going to take a deep breath in and just recognize how my body's feeling right now. And as Pastor Walter says, another thing we can do is kind of turn our thoughts inward when we take an in breath. And in our out breath, exhale and share love with those around us and our world. So I'm glad I can share some love with you here today. I have our candle and I have a story ready. Today in Sunday school, in Zoom Sunday school, James asked at the end if I had read a story, and I said that I had told them the story that I'm about to read, and he said that he noticed I didn't pick up the Bible, the book, and that's what he was watching for, because we've been talking a lot together about how the Bible is a collection of books written by different people, and Luke happens to be one of the friends of Jesus who was alive when Jesus was alive, which was a new idea for this small crowd also in Zoom Sunday School. So here I have a book, actually a collection of books all in one. And I thought it was interesting when I said that. One of the Zoom Sunday School people said, oh, like Harry Potter has lots of books. And so we compared this Bible to a book that I don't know exists, but a book that would have all of the Harry Potter books all in one book collection. And that's what this is. It's a collection of books. And Luke is one of them. That's the one I'm going to read from today. And I might paraphrase a little bit. This is from chapter 4 of that book. And in particular, verses 21 through 30, I believe. Yep, 21 through 30. So last week we talked about how Jesus went to a synagogue or a holy building, a sacred space, and read from the scrolls that were written long before his time. This story picks up right after he handed the scroll back to the priests. Everyone was looking at Jesus, and they were noticing how powerfully he spoke and read, and they recognized that they had heard stories of Jesus doing amazing things in other towns. And let me find the right spot. Jesus began to say to them, today this scripture has been fulfilled in your hearing. And all talked about all the wonderful things he had done. And they said to him, aren't you Joseph's son? Don't we know you from when you were born here in Nazareth? And he said, yes, and I know you're going to quote me from things I've said other places. And you're going to ask me to do miracles. And now that you're here in your hometown, Jesus, he said, he predicted they would ask him, do some miracles for us. Help us. And Jesus said, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. No prophet is accepted in his own hometown or her own hometown. So today in Zoom Sunday School, we talked about it like this. Sometimes the people you're closest to have a harder time listening to what you have to say, especially if it's not easy to listen to. So if Jesus asked some people in his hometown to change, to improve the way that they are behaving, they would not want to hear it. They only wanted to hear the comfortable things, the things that made them feel good. In the end of the story, the townspeople of Nazareth actually chase Jesus away and say, "Get out of here. We don't want you here anymore." In our Zoom Sunday school, we talked about how sometimes when teachers or parents or brothers or sisters, people who are close to us and who we spend a lot of time with, tell us to do something for our own good, sometimes we don't want to do it and we say no. Um, Sometimes we say yes, but we don't want to do it. We talked about things like following in line or stopping what you're doing at recess time when it's really fun, but the teacher says it's time to go inside, or stop playing a game. I gave this following example. My dog Pearl, most of you have seen before, at least through the computer screen. She is like having a child in my home because she definitely tells me what she thinks. For instance, yesterday she and I were walking around downtown and she wanted to visit with some friends at a store she likes to visit. And these friends love to pet Pearl and give her all kinds of attention. She wanted to stay in the store, but I needed her to come with me so that we could go do some things that were important. And she came outside with me, but she insisted that we not move away from the store door. So she sat down and pulled hard on her leash. And as she was doing this, a lady walking by said she had never seen a dog act that way before. And in my head, I thought, well, you have not been around Pearl very much because she tells me all the time what she wants. I have to work really hard to be a consistent human, asking her to do hard things with me so that we can do the fun things like come home and have supper. That's all to say that Jesus' main point in this story from the book of Luke, in this big collection of books called the Bible, is that Jesus came home to his hometown where people recognized him and said, "Hey, we know you. You were born here. You're Joseph's son. And we've heard you've done so many things other places. Can you please do some important things here for us? Here's what we want you to do." And Jesus answered by saying, "You might not like what I'm asking you to do." And they ended up making him leave his hometown. It's not a story that some of you may have heard. It's not as captivating as James pointed out. He didn't even recognize that that was a story. But hopefully it helps since I have it right here in my hands. Oh, friends, I hope that this week we are all able to listen closely to what people in our lives are telling us or asking us. I hope that we're able to think through those things and try to do some of them if we think it might benefit us in the long run, even if it's not a fun thing to do. And I'm taking a deep breath, feeling the warmth of my hands on my chest. And seeing the light of the candle here and the darkness outside. I want you to know that I am thinking of you. I am so glad that whoever is here listening in or watching a recorded version of this, I hope that you feel God's love surrounding you and that you're able to hear hard things and decide if it's the best thing for you to listen to and follow. Before we say our goodbye, I think that we could blow this candle out together. 1, 2, 3. This one has 3 wicks, so it's harder to blow out. I'm glad I had your help. Thank you, friends. Until next time, enjoy the coming of the